What up, what up, what up? All right, let's, Concacaf Nations League final happened Sunday night. Let's get into it. This is the second time I'm doing this video because the first time I had my mic off and, not happy about it. But hey, I'll gladly talk about all this all over again. So let's get right into it. All right, so we'll start with the lineup. The lineup came in at 24 years, at an average of 24 years and 206 days. The youngest team to ever represent the U.S. men's national team in a final, which is quite impressive, actually. We had Pulisic, Sargent, and Reyna up front, McKinney and Acosta in the midfield, and with Dest and Yedlin in a transitional period between the midfield and the back line, and then Ream, Brooks, and McKenzie on the back line. It was a 5-2-3 formation. Not really sure why Ream was starting. Nothing against him because I would say he's qualified to make the team, but when we have Tyler Adams on the bench, wouldn't have necessarily chosen Ream. Front three looked great. Pulisic, Sargent, Reyna, obviously. McKinney and Acosta. I don't know that I would have put Acosta in the midfield, but it worked. And then we got Dest, obviously Yedlin, Brooks and McKenzie. McKenzie was really good in the match the other night against Honduras. So, yeah. Mexico were the favorites to win the match per, the betting lines, which, I expected that. Obviously we weren't going to be the favorites. And sure enough, 2 minutes into the match, it proved why we weren't the favorites. Mexico scored, which was the earliest goal we've ever conceded in the modern era, which, didn't sound great. And then they scored again in the 24th. And at that point, it was looking like it was going to be a long night for us. It was brought back for offsides, though. Thank you, VAR. We appreciate for that. But if that goal was upheld, it would have been 2-0. That would have been a tough deficit for us to come back from. But, VAR called it off, which was really helpful. And 3 minutes later, Gio Reyna, he scores off of a Pulisic corner kick, which hit Weston McKennie. Weston McKennie hit the post, and Reyna got the rebound and put it in, and it was absolute madness. 1-1. Move forward. Nothing really happened between then and halftime. It was all just kind of, yellow cards and stuff. Subs. I don't think there were any subs between that time. I'll check that back. The 60th minute, Tim Wee gets subbed on for Serginho Dest, which was a pretty big move. And then around the 63rd minute, Stefan, he came off his line. He caught an injury, which was really worrisome. He appeared to be fine walking off or whatever, just, really tough in that moment. And we subbed on Horvath for him in the 69th minute. And Horvath, you know what, I'll get into it as the video progresses, but right now, Horvath is amazing. You're gonna need to get a Horvath kit. He is a men's national team legend for what he did last night. So we move forward. We hit the 79th minute, and Mexico takes the lead. And around this time, 11 minutes till the match is over. Begins to get worrisome. 3 minutes later, Weston McKennie. He equalizes off of a beautiful header. It was just perfect. It could not have played it any better. And so we're tied up 2-2, heading on to what looked like extra time. So in the third-ish minute of stoppage time, the match was halted due to offensive chants in the stadium. And I'm just gonna kind of stop the rest of it in my excitedness about the match. This is uncalled for. Both fans last night were just horrible. Mexican fans were throwing stuff at players, and then our fans obviously chanting offensive chants. It was just absolutely ridiculous from both sides. I'm glad we have fans back in the stadium, but this is not what we should be doing. It's just uncalled for. It makes us look so bad, and that's not what we're for. It's just these select fans that are just terrible, and they don't need to be going to games. It's uncalled for. If you're not, don't say it. It's just wrong. But, they halted the match, and then it got back underway. Nothing really happened for the rest of that stoppage time period. So we went on to the break. And the break is where like more madness just began to show up. In the analysis studio, a fan broke into the studio and he just kind of ran in and then jumped over a rail. Security just kind of didn't even do anything about it. It was very random. This dude's a legend. He just it was just really insane to watch. And you gotta love Clint Dempsey for just being completely unfazed by any of it. He just looked like a very, very funny situation. Anyways, first extra time period, nothing really happened. We played 15 minutes, nothing really actually happened. But then the second extra time period comes out. And we reach the 108th minute, and Christian Pulisic, he's fouled inside the 18-yard box. And, obviously at the moment, everybody's shouting, he was tackled, hard foul. So it goes to VAR. And I think at this moment, I don't think I said a word between the 95th minute of of stoppage time up until about the 120th minute of the match. Right here, I was very, very quiet because it was just praying that we got the penalty because, Pulisic can hit those. Pulisic, he's a Champions League winner. He can get the penalty. So it goes to VAR, and they give us the penalty. And at this point, I'm just like so excited on the inside, but just no emotion on the outside. I'm pretty sure anyone watching this game was just really quiet. And Pulisic steps up to take the penalty. Beautiful, beautiful penalty. He hit it top of the goal. I thought it was going over. It looked like it went over to me. But no, he scored it. And, there's just nothing. The keeper went the right way. He just got beat. Amazing penalty. And, thank God we have Pulisic. Pulisic is, the leader of this team. He was given the captain's armband for the match. Absolutely love him. I'm so appreciative to have him. As a Leeds supporter, I'm not a big fan of him at Chelsea, but as a U.S. men's national team player, I love him. He's so fun to watch. So after Pulisic scores, obviously our players go over to the corner flag to celebrate, and Mexican fans begin to throw stuff at our players. And a full Coke bottle hits, not Coke bottle, but Coke cup. It hits Gio Reyna in the head. Gio Reyna was on the bench at this time. But he went down, and it was definitely worrisome because, you don't want to see that. And like I said, the fans in this match were just terrible. On both sides, they were horrible, uncalled for. Reno eventually got back up, and, glad to see it. Match returned underway. Lots of shots in between. But nothing really happened until about the 118th minute, when there was an appeal for a handball on the U.S. men's national team side. And it went to VAR. And like I said, I was quiet for about the entirety of extra time. So it went to VAR. At this point, everyone is so fired up about everything. The Mexican national team coach actually went up and put hands on the referee, so he got sent off, which, like I said, just insanity going on in this match. It was just crazy. There are fights breaking out, stuff being thrown. I'm not saying the refs were particularly... The refs weren't biased in one direction. They were just equally bad on both sides. There was definitely a lot of stuff going our way, while at the same time, a lot of stuff going on the Mexican way. Not a great officiating match. But ultimately, the penalty gets given to Mexico. And I think at this time I'm just, hiding underneath the covers, panicking, because, in the history of the U.S. men's national team, you're used to this type of stuff. We go up one, and then something just ridiculous happens. And it's just waiting to suck the life out of you. And Horvath. I cannot say enough about this kid. Weston McKennie was given man of the match. He was voted. But I'm giving it to Horvath. Horvath was exceptional. He didn't start. He got scored on like 10 minutes after he got subbed in. But the save he made in the 122nd minute was so important to this team. And you know what? Mexico, they stepped up to take the penalty, and Horvath saved it. Unreal. And then I think this is when I broke my vow of silence and I began to freak out because it was just so insane to watch, knowing we're this close. We're 5 minutes of stoppage time away. We're winning the cup. And, the match obviously still isn't over. At around the 123rd minute, penalties taken or whatever, the official announced 5 minutes of stoppage time, which the match didn't end until like the 130th minute. So I don't know what the official time is, but based on regular time and then stoppage time and then extra time, I'm pretty sure the match was like 150 minutes long. It was insane. Around the 126th-ish minute, a fight broke out on the other side of the field, our U.S. men's national team and the Mexican national team, and more Mexican fans throwing stuff, and they hit one of their own players in the head with the cup, which is just like why you shouldn't be doing this. You shouldn't be doing it regardless, but then you hit one of your own players in the head. Like, it's just unreal. It shouldn't be happening. And then about 2 minutes after that, the match was finally, whistle was blown, game is over. And U.S. men's national team won the inaugural Concacaf Nations League Cup. I will be celebrating this for a while. Obviously, this match does so much for the future of this country. Like, I know we're not going to go win the World Cup in 2022. I know we're not even qualified for the Olympics. And, we might not even qualify for the World Cup. But right now, the majority of this team is playing in Europe. The majority of this team are, they're playing for teams that are fighting for a Champions League final spot. They're in the Champions League. They're fighting for a title in their country. This team, this is something we haven't seen before. Yeah, we've had players play in Europe in the past, but a few of them, 4 or 5 of them were playing in Europe at the time. The whole squad is nearly playing in Europe. This is big. This is going to grow everything. It's just one small trophy, but it's one huge step for what this team will become. We see the women's national team. They're winning World Cup year after year. They're winning the Olympics. The women's national team is going into group stage games, and they're winning matches 13-0. We're slowly reaching what that women's team has, what the rest of the world has. And it's big because, soccer is finally developing here. That's the difference between our country and every other country. America plays soccer. The rest of the world is playing football. America is finally beginning to play football. And that's exciting. USL championship teams are building stadiums. Louisville City has their own stadium, a Division II team. Colorado Springs, Division II team. Phoenix Rising. This is huge. We're building all of this, and sooner or later we're going to be, producing these great players. This is a big step for our country in this sport. And yeah, I might be overacting just a tiny bit. I might be overacting a huge bit, but this is the start of something. Like I said, we're not going to go win the World Cup next year, but if we qualify, I think we can win our group, at least come second, assuming we aren't placed in a group with like Argentina, Germany, and, Italy or something like that. We have a great chance. The next Olympics we make, we're going to do good in that Olympics. And I'm part of this, change. 8 years ago, I did not care about this sport, really. It wasn't something I watched. U.S. men's national team are playing on TV. Oh, change the channel. I don't care. But, now I'm part of it. I'm a huge fan. I love this. More and more people each day are falling in love with this sport. It's just great to see. I'm glad I'm a part of this, process, too, to be here for this evolution. So, like I said, I think I'm going to go get a Horvath kit. I got to get a McKinney one. I got to get a Reyna one. I got to get a Pulisic one. Like I said, I don't know why I don't have a Pulisic one. And like I said, I think it's because I'm a Leeds fan. I'm kind of against Pulisic a slight bit, but as an American player, I love him. I just love to see what is happening with this club. We're going to be what the women's national team has. It's just going to take some time. But compared to us, this team has come a long way since losing to Trinidad and Tobago. So yeah, like the video if you like the video. Let me know in the comments if I missed something. I probably did. I'm so excited over this game. This was just something, really exciting. I love to see it. So yeah, let me know if I missed something in the comments below. I probably did. Probably missed some really important card. There was a fight that broke out. McKinney got like chokeholded at one point. It was a very crazy match. Subscribe if you consider subscribing if you want to subscribe. I don't know. I do content over like men's national team, NWSL, USL, MLS. I got an MLS video coming out soon. That'll be all for me today. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.